See, suppose that this is the cylinder, and this is the fluid. Actually, what density of the wood is 500 and water is 1000. That means how much volume should be there inside the water? Initially, the volume is half of it. So 1/2 meter should be there inside the water. Otherwise, you can check force abeyance is equal to what? Force abeyance is equal to weight. Am I right? Force abeyance is equal to volume inside into density of the wood, density of the water, because it's kept in water, into G is equal to volume of, this is V dash, total volume of the wood into density of the wood into G, weight. V dash is volume inside the water. Okay, so then what is the value? G cancel out. So this is, water is 1000 and V into 500, then you will get how much? V dash is equal to V by 2. Because according to density proportional, you will get the volume inside, no? 10, okay, let us see. So that's why half of the volume of the cylinder is inside the fluid, inside the water. So they have given height of the cylinder is 1 meter, so I'll get half meter inside the water. Now the question is, suppose we need to apply the now external force to take it out. So external force we need to apply so that we can pull the cylinder outside. Now at random case, I'm taking like this. At random case, suppose what is the cylinder length inside the water is, I'm taking as x. Now I'm applying the external force upward. Obviously force abeyance also will act upward. Force abeyance decreases. That's why we need to apply the external force. Weight will act downward. So now see, minimum work they are told. What is the meaning of minimum work? Minimum work means the cylinder should not get any velocity. If I am doing the more work, then what will happen? It will get velocity. Am I right? Work done by all forces is equal to change in kinetic energy. So work done by all forces is equal to change in kinetic energy. Okay. So if change in kinetic energy becomes 0, then I can say that whatever be the work done by the external agent is there, that is minimum. Okay, na? Or else you can write down work done by gravity, work done by force abeyance plus work done by external agent, all should be equal to change in kinetic energy. Okay, na? So when this value is minimum, see, these will do the constant works, like constant forces, displacements are same, so they will have a particular values. So if I am doing the more work, more external force if I am applying, then velocity will be there, kinetic energy will be there, so work done will be more. Okay, na? So for minimum value, what is the condition? So slowly pulled out, velocity is almost 0. We are pulling the cylinder outward in such a way that we are not giving any velocity to the cylinder. Okay, na? Okay, let us see what is the value you are getting. Then what is the work done by forces? External force, what is the external force value at any instant? So as velocity is 0, slowly we are pulling out, then what is the acceleration value also? Nearly 0. We are not giving, cylinder is not getting any velocity, that means acceleration has to be 0. Okay, slowly pulled out. So acceleration is 0 means external force is equal to weight minus force abeyance. So external force is equal to, what is the weight value? Weight value we can calculate, you will get some constant value. 4 meter square area, 1 meter length, volume will become 4. Okay, na? Volume is 4. And what the density is equal to? Density of the wood is 500. Then 500 into G, which is 10. That is the weight. Minus what is the force abeyance value? Force abeyance value is equal to 4 is the area into x. 4x will be the volume. Okay, na? 4x is the volume into density of water, 1000 into G, 10 again. So external force is equal to, what is the external force value is equal to? This is 2000, 2000 into 10, 2 into 10 raised to 4. 2000 into 10, 20,000. Minus this is 4 into 10 raised to 4 into x. Yeah. 4 into 10 raised to 4 into x. Okay. So if you take 2 into 10 raised to 4 common, then it is 1 minus 2x. This is the external force value. We require the work done. Okay. Suppose that it is came out by delta x, came out by dx. Delta x or dx, you can take anything. Okay. For integration we take dx. So what is the work done by external agent is equal to? work done by external agent is equal to into dx into cos 0. So work done is equal to how much? 2 into 10 raised to 4 into 1 minus 2x into dx. Okay. So what is the total work done by the external agent is equal to integral of dw, which is 2 into 10 raised to 4 will come out, integral 1 minus 2x dx from where to where? 0 to 1 by 2. Actually 1 by 2, no? Actually 1 by 2 to 0, it's better to write down. Okay, you can go anyway. So as you are taking the positive work done, okay, you can go in that way also. What is the initial x value is equal to? Initial x value is 1 by 2. Initial x value is 1 by 2, final x value is 0. So then what is the work done value? Ultimately you will get the magnitude value, okay. So this is x minus x square, okay na? 1 by 2 to 0. So then 2 into 10 raised to 4, 0 will become 0, minus of 1 by 2 minus 1 by 4, okay na? So then you are getting negative value, yeah? Okay. So 2 into 10 raised to 4 into, so take the positive value of 1 by 4, then 1 by 2 into 10 raised to 4, which is how much? 5 into 10 cube joules. What's the question? Kilojoules, huh? Then it should be 5. Yeah, very good. It should be 5 only, huh? Okay. Yeah, almost got. Very good. So this is the beaker, right? So now what I do is, I'll take here the logic of the question is we require the only force acting on the upper hemispherical part. Force exerted on the upper hemispherical portion, right? So this is the question logic, upper spherical hemispherical portion. So I'll take only the object which includes upper hemispherical portion, means this. Even in the question entire cylinder is given, or sorry, entire sphere is given, but we require only half of the sphere, upper half of the sphere only required. So that's why what is the logic of the question is, the logic of the question is something like this. I take the upper hemisphere only, okay, so which is at a bottom of what? Which is at a bottom, I mean at a depth of, if I talk about till here, okay. So I am taking the, see I changed the object actually. So don't think that as I have changed the object, answer will change. Answer remains same only. Why? Because see the way the arrangement of upper hemisphere here, same as here also. So this depth is how much now? 3r is the depth. Both are same only. Both are same arrangement. So what are be the force acting? Force acting on this upper hemisphere, upper curved surface. Upper curved surface here. Same would be the force acting on upper curved surface over here. Both has to be same. Whether you keep total sphere and half of the sphere. So this conversion, if you can do this conversion, then question is done. But if you are taking sphere as it is, then it will be a tough one. So now let us see how it is acting. As I am taking the half of the sphere, then question is done. I think you understood now. What are the force abundance acting on it? The force abundance acting on it is upward sense, right? So what is the force abundance value I can write down? Force abundance value is 2 by 3 pi r cube, because smaller is the radius as given, into density of the object into g. This is the force abundance value. But what are the forces acting? On the curved surface, force will act downward, already we discussed in our theory, the first one. And bottom surface force will act in F, force acting on the bottom surface will be F in upward direction. So then, what is the force abundance is nothing but resultant of these two forces. Then F minus Fc is equal to force abundance. We require the force acting on the curved surface, which is equal to F minus Fb. Then force acting on the curved surface is, what is the force acting on the bottom flat surface? Force acting is P naught plus rho g into 3r, because they are asking due to pressure directly, not by fluid. Previously we were solving for fluid. Now it is acting due to pressure, means atmospheric pressure also has to be included. So that's why included atmospheric pressure multiplied with area is how much? Pi r square minus force abundance value is equal to 2 by 3 pi r cube rho g. then what the force acting on the curved surface is equal to P naught into pi r square plus this is rho g into pi 3 times r cube minus 2 by 3 pi r cube rho g. Okay, so I think somebody got this answer, P naught plus pi r square, so 7 plus 7 by 3 rho g pi r cube. Okay, na? So if you want to take common, then what is the force due to entire pressure on the curved surface? Upper curved surface is equal to, yes, pi r square, I can take it out, then it is P naught plus 7 by 3 rho g into pi r. This is the force acting on the curved surface. Clear? Yeah, very good. Very good, Arshit. Because Pranav also got, na? Very good, nice. And what about Varun? Varun, Mohit? Vikas also got, very good. Vikas, I previously got it. Mohit, okay? Harshit, Mohit? Harshit got, okay. That's what I'm saying. So this is the thing, this is the very good doubt. Now, flat surface is not in water. Flat surface is not in water, but we are not taking the flat surface, no? We are taking the only curved surface. We are making a replica of it. Okay, if I am taking the entire sphere, what will be the force acting at this curved surface? Force acting at this curved surface will be same only. Why? Because both are having the same depth, same principle only. But this is easy to calculate for me than this. So that's why we changed it. See, what is our interest? Subject of interest is very simple. That is what? Curved surface. That is our interest. Whether bottom is curved one, bottom is flat, doesn't matter, no, for us. It doesn't matter for us. Okay, it's not required also for us. But what we need to keep? We need to keep that whatever be the curved surface here, same the arrangement of the curved surface has to be same. So here, what is the depth of this? What is the depth? Whatever be the depth of every point of the curved surface, here also depth has to be same. If depth is same, then the force remains same only. So it doesn't matter now what is the bottom surface, whether bottom surface is curved or bottom surface is flat, it doesn't matter to us. So that's why I removed the bottom as curved one and I kept the bottom as what? Flat surface, so that it is easy for us to calculate. Got the answer? Janvi, okay? Force due to flat surface will be applied by this person under that condition, curved one. So they are asking the only force on the curved surface. It's not related to the whether bottom is flat or bottom is curved one. Okay. So once you are keeping this curved surface at a depth of 3r, something like this, this would be the force. This has to be the force acting. Actually, we are not calculating. See, this is the force not by flat surface. This is the force because of its curved nature. But actually, what is the actual way to calculate? Actual way to calculate is take a small ring, calculate the force acting on that ring and then integrate. That is the thing. Total sphere and subtracting. How total sphere you will subtract? Then you require the force acting on the bottom sphere, no? That will be, again you have to find out. Now, anyway you can do that. You can find out the total force of inch, okay? Then you calculate what is the force acting on the lower sphere, lower curved surface. By taking what? By taking the one more half sphere on the lower, then you go for subtraction. That also we can do. But that will be lengthy. This we will get directly. Okay, that will become little lengthy than this. Okay, na? Understood this part?